Hey, wonderful listeners, and my buddy Piyush said listeners is the wrong word. I'm going to say this, I'm going to say viewers. No, I'm going to say, hey, wonderful seekers of inspiration from Radio Rodeo. We are here with two amazing angels from the Rotary Club of Deonar, and Rodeo means any member, any Rotarian from the Rotary Club of Deonar is called as a Rodeo, as you all know, wonderful seekers. So Rotary Club of Deonar is based out of Mumbai, and Mumbai is based out of India. And Piyush, I hope I'm very clear about the fact where is Deonar located, right?
Yes, absolutely. This time, definitely.
Excited to be on the show again?
Yes, once again.
So many shows, aren't you getting bored of it?
No, it is becoming more and more interesting.
Absolutely, indeed. When angels are with us, how can it be boring? It's so very different when passions ooze out and they touch humanity. It's my pleasure and my honor to have two fantastic ladies of our club. We look up to them as somebody who are the movers and shakers of humanity, who don't talk but they really walk the talk, who don't speak about making an impact. They actually go to the grassroots level and make the impact. And here, as the bell rings in the background, we are at the school premises of one of the wonderful Rotarians, Rotarian narration, and the bell rang saying that it's time for the period to get over, but also it's time for the bell to ring as these two amazing angels go live on this show. It's my pleasure and my honor to welcome Rotarian Nalini Kannan, all of, I think, 8 years now, Nalini, in Rotary Club of Deonar. Almost 8 years in Rotary Club of Deonar. Somebody who oozes absolute inspiration. Somebody who's traveled, and listen to me this, who's traveled across the world. You've heard of that, right? But here's somebody who's gone across the 7 continents. The only continent she's yet to go, who's waiting for her visa, is the Arctic Ocean. I think she'll get it one. Last reports came in, she was in the Antarctica with the penguins. This is not a joke. Somebody who graduated from the Madras Christian College, worked in the government for several years before she made a move into enterprise, an entrepreneur, runs an engineering services company so successfully. Somebody who's passionate about travel, somebody who's been a mover and shaker in the Rotary youth development programs, including youth exchanges, including so many aspects that deal with the youth. This time she handles the most important role of getting more Rotarians into the fold, more members to become Rotarians, because there's no other way, in my opinion, that one can really add value to the world but by being a Rotarian in so many different ways, which we'll know from these angels. Sitting next to her is the one and only chartered accountant, practicing chartered accountant. She would be upset with me for having said that. Rotarian Shivani Bansal. Shivani practices CA, of course, but she practices accounts, liabilities and assets, and balance sheet of profit and loss account, Piyush.
Yes.
In terms of handling the pain that touches upon human lives, she makes sure that those liabilities are really removed by the wonderful work she does in her endeavors in non-medical earlier and in vocational. We're excited to know more about that. Welcome to this wonderful Radio Rodeo, Nalini and Shivani. How does it feel?
Suresh, it is an opportunity, given to us, and also a privilege that, you invited us for this show. So we are really honored by this invite. Thank you.
Really gracious. Nalini?
Yeah, actually, I feel so happy because I always feel happy to talk about my own club, Rotary Club of Deonar. Actually, I'm associated with this club for more than 23 years. When my husband joined Rotary in 1999, the Fagan, and I used to attend all the meetings and all the projects. So technically I've become a Rotarian only in 2016. Otherwise I'm associated with the Rotary world after my marriage, immediately after my marriage, because all my brother-in-laws are Rotarians, and I have become the Rotarian now.
Okay, here is a case where Nalini didn't join Rotary, but Rotary joined Nalini. That seems to be different, right?
So nicely articulated as usual, Suresh.
Yes, Piyush. All yours, Piyush, to take it forward.
Yeah. So Shivani, I think the viewers, the listeners would like to know, how is a life of a Rotarian different than a life of a person who's not joined Rotary?
Piyush, see, I mean, there are so many people who would have joined so many organizations, and they're members of many. But for me, I can say that Rotary has given me a new leash of life. It has given me a new purpose in life. Because earlier I was, I was working earlier, and then I had to give up because of family commitments. And after that, it was like, rearing and raising my children. But now, with the new leash that Rotary has given me, I can do a lot more. I can give it back to the society. And that's what I feel like that's the purpose in my life now.
Oh, wow. So there's a purpose in her life because of being a Rotary member. Wonderful.
Very profound indeed.
Yeah.
She said it so elegantly, but there's so much of soulfulness in what she said that I wish I could really activate that into words, but I can't.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy, Piyush, that thank you so much for your help. And what Chirag Aggarwal does, he's the back of the camera, that they made us go from an audio podcast to a video podcast. Thank you so much, Piyush, for being a buddy of the rodeos, a true friend that you come all the way across several miles to make sure that you spend your entire day for us to make us reach out to the world. Really appreciate that. And that's when soulfulness of Shivani could come out today on camera. Shivani, thank you so much from us, Piyush and Chirag. Over to you, Piyush.
Yeah, so thank you, Suresh, and it's really a privilege. So Malini. Nalini. Okay. So cut. Okay. So Nalini, we heard from Shivani her words of wisdom of her experience of being a Rotarian. Viewers would also like to know from you, how is your life as a Rotarian?
Yeah, for the first time when I went for my training session, Chirag Aggarwal was the trainer. He asked me, how do you feel as a Rotarian? I said, I feel at par with my... I'm sorry.
No problem.
You'll do it again?
I felt I'm at par with the school now.
I feel I'm at par with Bill Gates. That gives me a lot of pride to be a Rotarian. Rotarian, the title actually comes with a responsibility. Actually, in your oath also, when you take a oath, when you become a Rotarian, it states that you are a leader in your profession. And Rotarian title comes with a responsibility, a social responsibility. So I have become a very responsible citizen, and it gives me a lot of pride to be a Rotarian.
Wonderful, Nalini. So, Nalini, when you spoke, I didn't know whether you noticed it. I went onto the laptop here, went onto Microsoft Windows, and I sent a mail out to Mr. Gates. Hey, Mr. Gates, there is competition for you now. Absolutely, I can imagine. But you felt it at that time, right? When you went for training with the senior Rotarian Chankar, who is a visionary to so many Rotarians. But do you still feel that after so many years?
Yes, of course. Actually, the feeling is right from for the past 23 years, even as a spouse. And being a Rotarian after, from 2016, I feel all the more. And when you start working in the projects, you will feel more and more. It never goes down.
So the context is you feel like you're top of the world. You feel you're so much blessed and you're really reaching out and privileged, and it's a great feeling to be. That's what you mean when you said you feel like Bill Gates, right?
Yes.
Top of the world. Right, absolutely. So the real riches is not in terms of the metals jingling and the notes from the RBI and from the dollars. The real wealth, I think, is in terms of reaching out to humanity, and that really comes out from these two wonderful
How you're satisfied with your work, how you're satisfied with your giving back to the society.
Right.
That gives a lot of richness.
Absolutely. Angels speak, wonderful listeners and viewers. Angels speak in its purest form. Go ahead.
Today, this has just come up now. I can say that, a non-Rotarian can have a superhero as Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan. A Rotarian will have a superhero like Bill Gates.
Wow, that's
Fantastic.
wonderful.
Truly said.
That's wonderful.
That's when the heart speaks, right? So much. So when you were speaking, and I could see the passion glistening over your eyes, and I have the pleasure of seeing at close quarters, Rotarianism, and by the way, to all the innovators of the Rotary movement, I beg their pardon if this word is in any way misplaced, but with these two angels, the word gets born. A lot of times in this show, a lot of new things happen. Like we had one show where there was the Wonder Woman got generated, Runman got generated, Godman got generated on the show. The universe has got its own way. So Rotarianism is what is getting generated now. So Rotarianism, isn't that a good, do you see Rotarianism as being one without borders, one without any prejudice, one that can really empower humanity? Nalini first and Shivani second.
Yeah, I really like the word Rotarianism coined by you, Suresh. It's really good. And you feel when you go and do a project for underprivileged, you feel that I am the mentor for these children. I am the protector for their needs. And all this gives us a lot of pride. And I feel that, being a Rotarian, I'm blessed. and I am a chosen one to do social service or giving back to the society, to the underprivileged. I feel really proud about it.
There were now 3 words which I am new to. One was Rotarian, which was a new word for me. Then when I joined Rotary and became a Rotarian, our club members are called Rodeos. So that had a very different meaning. And now today this Rotarianism, that is a super word, I would say. So, connecting with this Rotarianism is that, as what Nalini also mentioned earlier, was that, it's a huge responsibility. It gives you some power, but yes, along with it comes responsibility. And I would say that, this tag of Rotarian, it carries with it an honor that, you are a Rotarian. There's a privilege to it and there's a prestige to it. So you have to behave, you are actually a brand ambassador for the Rotary Club. So you have to act within, it's not there is no boundary, but you have to act in a specific way. You have to see to the needs of the people. So it gives a lot of responsibility on yourself, I would say.
Absolutely. And talking of that, when Shivani was saying what you were saying in terms of responsibility, is not only the club, right? There is something called as the societal responsibility, the RCC, for example. Right? Also things like you mentioned, the Rotary Youth Exchange, and so many aspects which goes beyond. So I would like to talk about the RCC as a rural community center. That's what it's called, rural community center. Yeah. Rotary Community Corps. I got a new term called Rural Community Center. I'm testing the Rotarians whether they know their.
Actually, we are planning one Rotary Community Center for doing our Rotary work. So, by God's grace, we should get one soon.
Fantastic. So, the Rotary Community Corps, in terms of enabling the rural sector, how much of a role have you played in some form or the other at the Rotary Club of Deonar?
Yeah, actually right from 2000 I used to go to RCC village. Previously we used to have only a medical checkup for once in a year. Once the mainstream started, like my husband, Mr. Kannan, he was planning a lot of things like a polio corrective surgery there also, and we started putting a lot of amenities, the basic amenities like the water pumps, the toilet blocks, everything. Almost around, we have completed around 69 toilet blocks and around 40 plus water pumps for them. And now the work is still going on because, we want that particular villages. We have got 5 RCC villages. So to get the saturation, like in the sense of basic amenities, and the school children we concentrate for their pure drinking water and eco-friendly things and e-education. Now we are giving, even day after tomorrow, that is Sunday, we are going to give a lot of computers, laptops, everything, and we are going to introduce a solar energy also there. And in the beginning, in 2000, when we went there to give the uniforms and other things to the Adivasi children, we were dressing up the children, all these Rotarian spouses, and I was a spouse that time. So these children, they don't know what is undergarment even. So we were so shocked. They are just 100 kilometers away from Mumbai, the metropolitan city Mumbai, but they don't know all these things. I personally feel that when this villages become modern and they get their basic amenities, then only we'll say, okay, we have got everything. Like India is progressing, India is incredible. Then only I'll agree that.
Absolutely profound words. I'll respond to that one. Shivani, questions about RCC and how has it been for you at the Rodeo, the Rotary Club of Deonar for doing RCC projects?
So Suresh, I actually have not been too much involved in the RCC at the rural level. But recently we started an RCC in the urban area, that is a Maharashtra Nagar. And we've done multiple projects there. And just the other day I was going for a project there and I was in an auto. So I was not able to, recollect the name New Maharashtra Nagar. So I said Mankur jana hai. So he said, acha theek hai. Then as we were nearing that spot, he said, "Arey, ye to Maharashtra Nagar hai." I said, "हाँ, वहीं जाना है मुझे." He said, वो तो बहुत गंदा है, हम भी नहीं जाते हैं. So I said, इसीलिए हमको जाना पड़ता है.
So sweet. That's wonderful.
So coming to this RCC thing, this new setup that we have at Maharashtra Nagar, we've done multiple projects there, and we are still doing a lot of projects, and a lot of work is being done in that area.
So like wonderful is a Piyush, profound words like Nalini says 100 kilometers from this megapolis called Mumbai, and the girls go through whatever they go through in terms of their ignorance or not knowing. That's the kind of gap that is there. And look at Shivani is saying within the city, the RCC in the urban heartland, and there somebody says it's not a good place to go because there is a lot of dirt there, and the Rotarianism in them answers. That's why we are here for, to make sure that the dirt really starts becoming glowing like a deodorant, because we are from the rodeos, the Rotarians. Because deodorants is what we smile across, right? Thank you, Shivani. Thank you, Nalini. I want to ask about any quick sub questions to come in. I will just go with the flow because I'm so mesmerized with the angels.
Absolutely.
And unless you put a stop on time, I might just let go on.
Yeah.
Want something to come in, Piyush?
So Shivani, I think we would be interested to know, you went into this place where, hardly even an auto rickshaw driver said that I would not go. So what is the kind of, could you share some specific about the projects that you worked on, and, what was the context and what did you do there?
So Piyush, currently I am handling the vocational avenue.
Right.
So we are running a session called, a project called Chetna.
Oh.
Wherein Chetna means, creating awareness about basic things,
Right.
which we feel that, everybody should know. Everybody knows about it. But when you get to the core of it, nobody knows.
Right.
So we've conducted sessions there on waste management, that is the segregation of dry and wet waste, how to handle waste, and how to minimize the use of plastic. So we even distributed bags made of cloth, so that they can, inculcate this habit of not using plastic or minimizing. We cannot do away with plastic.
Absolutely.
That's the fact of life. And the recent session that we've done is on burns prevention. That is what happens. We collaborate with the National Burn Center, which is at Airoli. So they come and conduct these sessions on awareness regarding burns, different types of burns, what are the fires, different types of fires, what to do, how to take care of yourself in case you get burned. So these are certain things with, like, you and me the other day, like, at a session, he was saying that you should not, in case you get burned, you should not put cold water. It's a tap water which you should apply. So I asked, I said, what is the harm? In fact, if you apply ice or cold water, that will be much better. So he said, no, that is something which you should never do, because that, hardens the area, that hardens the skin, and the recovery is also slow. And believe me, like, that is exactly what we had done when my husband had burnt his foot. We did exactly the opposite. So, okay, I mean, you can say that I'm an educated person, but yet this is a very basic information which I didn't know. And I'm sure a lot of us don't know about this. So this is what we are trying to create an awareness about.
Absolutely. So the name, as rightly goes, Chetna, you're able to create
Yeah.
awareness about, basic information that even educated people
Educated
like us
people, yeah.
are not able to.
Super. So that's what Rotarianism does, moves literacy into a better form of education, right, Shivani? Yeah. That's what happens. And Nalini, coming back to you in terms of the Rotary members worldwide and stuff like that, a lot of feeling is there that if I become a member, I need to give a lot of time, I'm going to give money, and so on and so forth. Is that what limits people to join en masse into a Rotary club? What do you think stops them, and what would your message be to them?
Okay, this is the right question at the right time, because I'm handling membership development director this year. See, actually speaking, we have to give a lot of information to them. We should give them, when you are approaching a new person, that we have to first tell about what is Rotary and other things. We just conduct a fireside meeting, which is called fireside meeting, and we used to give a lot of information about Rotary. Once they get convinced with that, and we'll ask them to attend some 3-4 meetings. It's not the question that we like to have them, and they also like to join this club. So it is mutual. So they also have to like us, And that in that way, like like we have made it mandatory that they have to attend 3 meetings, otherwise 3 projects will be much better because they will come to know what all we are doing. So in that way, like we can have members, and not only members, the sustainable members. I don't want the members to join this year and leave next year.
Right.
The sustainability should be there, and we have to retain the member. The retention is very, very important, because that is the way, like, you have to make your club also very interesting, that this person will never leave your club. So I'll never leave my club. Right. So that is the message, like, you have to give, and by doing your your interesting meetings, the speaker meetings, right, etc.
Yeah.
And what I feel is the Rotarians, they'll take up the Rotarianism or the Rotarian role once they just reach their saturation in their profession, in their family, and yeah, I'm done with all my responsibilities. I have enough money. I want to give back to the society. When that feeling comes, it is easy for us to tap the person, and he will definitely join. And mostly that happens only when it is 40 to 50. But I am just targeting the new members also, because it has to come from their the initial stage itself, like as soon as they finish their studies and started working. So that time itself, you have to join Rotary. Then only, you will know the responsibility. I told you already that Rotarian tag comes with a responsibility. Right. So I want the youth also to be responsible citizen. So for that, best thing is that you have to tap the young person to join Rotary.
Wonderful. Famously said, it is important that, like for example, they say spirituality and spiritualism should not happen in the fag end of life. It should become a part of everyday life from the beginning.
Exactly.
Similarly,
yes,
service to humanity should not become like a afterthought. It should be there upfront as part of daily life. It is not about how much I've got, it's about how much I can give, and that's what's made the difference. That's what these wonderful angels around the show. And we go to the last leg now. I'm looking, both of you, I'm sure you're getting amazing memories, right? So many of them. We could have a 24-hour show and probably your memories will not dry up. So if I want to ask you, Shivani, what is that one memorable experience that you have had over the last 3 years? You have been a Rotarian. What would one memorable experience be, whether it's on a project or some experience which you could share with us? That'd be nice.
So Suresh, my journey into Rotary has been till now, it's a very short one right now. But in spite of that, there are memorable, multiple memories, I can list out. But taking into account the paucity of time, one was that the moment you become a Rotarian or you join this club, especially I do not know about the other clubs, but for Deonar I can say, the members welcome you with open arms and a warm heart.
Super.
Okay, and inclusivity is the core thing. So I was just barely, I think 1 month into the club as a member, and I was made to give out a vote of thanks for one of the Zoom meetings, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? I can't do it. But then, the president then, Prabodh, really encouraged me, and I did that. So that has gone a long way in feeling welcomed into the club. Then that same year I compared the Blue Ribbon Awards, which was again a prestigious, you've done it, Suresh. It's a prestigious project for RCD. So comparing for that was also an amazing thing and a lot of experience for me. As far as the project are concerned, one project which is really close to my heart has been the urban forest, that Miyawaki forest that we do. Right. So since beginning, I have been drawn to it, and that is something, I can talk endlessly about it, and I am still so fond of it. Wherever I get an opportunity to do that, I would definitely do it.
Wonderful. That's the project we'll
yeah.
talk about. We'll know more about it in the comment section. We'll write more about this also in the pictures. We'll also put pictures on the show's views.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Coming
sure.
to you, Nalini, and as we come to the last segment of the show, the memorable experience. Something that will even beat your Antarctica sight of the sky. They call it as the white light, right? Northern lights.
Northern lights.
So
okay.
What is that memorable experience which beats even the northern lights that you would probably have over the last 7 or 8 years being a Rotarian, full-fledged? And of course, you've been a Rotarian family for, I think, several decades now. So what is that one memorable experience you would like to share?
I think I have a lot of memorable projects there, because over the period of time that I have witnessed and I've done a lot of projects. But one thing I wanted to focus on is that youth service. Youth service is always very dear to my heart. When I joined Rotary, my first position was I was taken in the district as RY, that is Rotary Youth Exchange team. They have taken me to groom these children. We have almost around 12 to 13 countries children coming here for a year, and they'll be staying with the Rotarian family, at least 2 to 3 Rotarian families. So I also have hosted 2 girls, one in 2005 and one in 2015-16. That girl is a Mexican one. Recently I met her there in Mexico also.
Wow.
And so, they used to call me mom. And it has been, I'm not very sure that all the children behave like the same. Some children, I mean the foreign children, they used to call you by name also. And I have just accompanied them to Goa trip and Chennai trip and this Delhi trip and all, because it is my responsibility that particular year to take care of the children. When you go to Rotary Youth Exchange, the counseling will be there. The first thing what we say is the 4 Ds are prohibited: drinking, driving, dating and drugs. So we have to be very careful with all these things. But sometimes drugs is absolutely no, of course. And sometimes these people, they come to our this one, because the age limit is 15 to 18. So they will celebrate their 18th birthday only here. So it is not allowed. It is not allowed means it's not allowed. No means no. So that way, I wanted to spread this one to all the other school children also of our own country. So that made me an idea that when I become a youth service director the very next year, I told my president I want to start a new Interact Club, new Rotary Club. I was very successful in starting a new Interact Club, that is General Education Academy.
Right.
And this is my baby
Where we are right now.
Right now, yeah, this venue is right now.
Right.
So this is like my baby. And I always see that a lot of projects are carried out there. Previously, it is only for namesake, it is an Interact Club and this one. Hardly we'll have 1 or 2 projects there. Nowadays, the other people who are following this one, that my successors, youth service directors, they are having a lot of projects in the school, this one.
Right.
So I want to keep this awareness in our school system also, along with this Rotary Youth Exchange.
Spread it across. Whether it's an Interact Club or not, spread the message of making sure that the spirit of interactorism, spirit of Rotarianism all goes across, right?
Exactly.
Super.
And one more thing, in a district level, I love my district conference. It happens once in a year. It's a 2 days affair, and you'll have lot of speakers, lot of awards given to the celebrities from Bollywood, this and all. But when we did when our governor from our own club, Raju Subramaniam, became the district governor, our creative head is Jankar Gadkari. Probably that is the reason he doesn't have even one single hair on his head. He is full of brains.
Right.
Okay, and he was the one who introduced a concept called Nish Parikshit Chehra, which means faceless face. So he discovered people, that is unsung heroes, you can say.
Right.
Different areas, not only from Mumbai. One lady, she was a midwife. You know that what is midwife?
Yes.
They take care of the delivery.
Yes.
And from Rajasthan, she is unpad, but she has done almost around 1 lakh of deliveries she has seen. She must be around in her 60s. She came all the way from Rajasthan to attend this conference. And one man, he's from Chennai, Madurai, I can say. And he came from Madurai, and he is the one, he resigned his bank job, and he has taken giving back to the society. Some people, they don't have anything. The elderly people, they die and nobody will be there to do the last rites.
Right.
This man was doing that, resigning his job and spending his own money, and he was doing this job for many years. I think he has done more than 2000 or something when I met him.
Right.
Like that, Jankar is one person that he find person that chun chun ke leta hai.
Yes.
So he used to put his heart and soul in this, and that was the one. Now every governor is following this concept in their conference every year.
Wonderful.
See, that is why I'm telling, being a rodeo, and being a member of Rotary Club of Deonar gives me a lot of pride.
These two amazing, great moms came across, and for me, moms would mean moments of memories. Every single time is what they create, moments of memories, and that's an amazing message that has come. We could go on and on, but Piyush, I think it's time to sign off now and let the angels go flying to impact society
Right,
in another form, right, Piyush?
Yeah, yeah.
Any few words to tell them before we sign off?
No, the only words that I can say is really thank you. Thank you and thank you for taking care of humanity, setting high standards to serve people, serve community. That's all I would like to say.
And being so passionate about taking the step forward to for the sake of humanity, make sure that Maharashtra Nagar is the place to go to. Make sure that the youth comes more and more into exchange programs and make sure the life gets bigger and better. Thank you, Nalini. Thank you, Shivani. It's been a pleasure and a honor and a real privilege for me and Piyush, along with Chirag, our fantastic director, who is turning the camera the other way as I say goodbye. Thank you, Chirag, for being an absolute buddy. Thank you, Piyush, from the Rodeo, signing off from the absolutely endearing studio of oneness of humanity called the Rotary Club of Deonar. Thank you. We meet again at the podcast next time. Thank you very much. Thank you.